This is the Swannies one.
What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's episode 108 of the Dadbod Golf Pod. Ben looks like he's about to go scuba diving. Guys, welcome to the worst day of the week, Tuesday, and we're here to make it better. It's Kyle, Ben, and Nate back again for another round of friendship and fun. Fellas, we are proud members of the Believe Podcast Network, the #1 podcast network for professionals and us. Fellas, how's it going? How's it hanging?
Good.
To the left, to the left,
a little to the left. All right. How was your Monday? Was your Monday good?
No, my Monday's never good in the radio business. Mondays suck. But thanks for asking.
There was a guy when I was a cart guy used to come up to the club and he said, if you ain't hanging left, then you ain't hanging right.
All right.
So next Monday goes well. That's what he's saying. Nice.
Monday, one day I'm going to be standing Monday tea time guy because those guys got it figured out.
Yeah.
Standing Monday tea time guy. I'm not there yet.
They're living on their 401ks. They're retired.
Hopefully one day my Mondays will be better than they are now, I guess, because Mondays typically suck. Tuesdays suck even worse because the golf course is closed. So anyways, and it's not close enough to Friday. But anyway, we are fired up to be here. And we're going to talk about some stories over the year that you may have heard, you may have forgotten about, or may you just completely missed them.
Yep. Controversial stories.
Yeah, controversial stories. Golf Digest did a cool list. They're doing this where they're throwing out some of the top headlines over the year that over 2021 that we missed. And some of these we talked about, some of these we didn't. And we're going to have some fun just reliving it. So before we do that, we want to give a shout out to Betonline.ag.
That was the worst transition you've done in a month.
Hold on, let's try that again.
Let's try that again, Kyle. So
we're going to go through these stories, and there's going to be a bunch of stuff from the end of the year.
Speaking of stories, let me tell you a story.
Boy.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story of how to win money online. That is by checking out betonline.ag. Head to their new updated desktop mobile website, sign up today, and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use promo code BLEAV50, BLEAV50, and receive your bonus. They got every single sport you can imagine. They've got it. They got live betting. They got casino games, literally everything. Hey, you never know. You could be you could take this right to the top. You could be a millionaire over the weekend. Just get hot.
You can bet on Charlie Woods winning a major before he turns 22 years old.
It will not happen over the weekend. But
right. You could probably bet on I'm sure you could bet on Charlie and Tiger this weekend. So
more than likely, yes.
Have a lot of fun with it. Check them out. Bet online. It's where the game actually starts. Gentlemen,
by the way, I broke even on betonline.ag and I did not do well with my blackjack again. I've got to quit partaking in Miller Lights in decision making.
Yeah.
They don't really go.
You count cards?
No, not on. Not digitally. I do not.
I'm a big card counter.
Okay.
Yep.
In theory, you could even easier, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
On if it's a true triple.
We're not advocating that. We're not telling you that's a good idea.
It's legal.
We're just saying that you need to. It's just frowned upon.
It's frowned upon, big time.
It's kind of a weird conundrum, right? It's frowned upon, but they haven't made it illegal.
I think it's a weird conundrum.
Kind of like Patrick Reed.
If you get caught doing it, if you get caught doing it in a casino, that they will kick you out, even though it's not illegal. That's what I find out.
It's hard to catch you though. I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to, go down that rabbit hole. What's up, Andrew? Cousin, my boy.
he's hammering it out right now. Let's go through this list, guys. I mean, there's some cool stuff in here that we never really got to and sort of kind of forgot about. So the first one on this Golf Digest list of controversial stories from 2021 was titled "Absent at Augusta."
Hold on, Kyle, before you get there.
Yeah,
because this is one that didn't get it got addressed, but it didn't get named as one.
Yeah,
and that was JT's, as they quote, audible gaffe. I'd forgotten that was at the first of the year last. I thought that was like 2-3 years ago. That's how much I'd forgotten about it.
Yep. Where was it? Wasn't it at the Players, or where was it?
No, it was
Kapalua.
Was
No, I guess
Was it at Kapalua?
Yeah, Century
it had to
Tournament of
be.
Champions. That's
Yep.
the first tournament of the year.
Yep. So yeah, that just got kind of looked over. They mentioned it in the opening paragraph, but they were like, well, we wanted to hit you with more surprises. And I'm like, I don't know. That was pretty surprising.
Yeah, but that was,
sponsor.
that was
he had to
pretty memorable.
take his apologetic tour and all that kind of stuff. He had to fall on the sword. That was pretty memorable, but I guess they didn't find that worthy of, I don't know.
Yeah, that's dicey territory.
They just want to stay away from it. They'd rather talk about a guy got thrown in prison for allegedly doing something that never got proven
that's
that he
the kind of content that we're here for.
I like it.
Yep. So the first one, absent at Augusta. Everybody knows the guy. You see him every year. If you win the Masters, you pretty much go back and play until you can't walk anymore, or you just get tired of shooting in the 80s and leaving after the round on Friday.
And you still get to play the par 3 until you just don't want to play anymore.
Exactly. But there was a notable absence this year, and that was Mr. Angel Cabrera. He's only 51, so I mean, not out of the realm of possibility that he could compete and win this thing, but he was absent because he was in prison.
He's going to be absent again this year because he had 2 years. So he was out last year.
Angel Cabrera, now known as prisoner 497-34268.
Here's the thing is, when you read this is in a different country. He's from Argentina. This was in Buenos Aires, but he's just facing charges of assault. He wasn't proven guilty of assault, but yeah, they still threw him in jail for 2 years.
It says he was sentenced.
He was sentenced to 2 years.
Yeah, I say it was sentenced.
He was facing charges when the Masters was happening, and that's why he couldn't go to the Masters. But since then, he has been thrown in for 2 years. You think you can still work on the swing in there, right? I mean, we've talked a lot about prison, but maybe you get a guard to just bring you a club and you can hit balls over the fence.
We really missed an opportunity to say that this is not what happened. He actually lost one of the bets that we bet him, and that's why he's in prison.
Yeah. No, that is tough. It's
just tough.
American prison's no fun. I can't imagine what Argentinian prison is like. It's probably not very fun at all. I wonder what his golf.
He's going to get in on the prison mafia though. Like he's definitely going to be like I'm a boss in there.
Oh yeah, he looks like one now.
He does look like a boss.
Like I'm honestly halfway terrified that we're even talking about this right now.
He got a little.
Just listening.
He got dad bodish in his. What if he goes there and he toughens up, man? He comes out just felt. Just ready to rip it at 52, 53 years old.
What if they won't let him back into Augusta? They're like, no felons, no foreign felons allowed.
That's a good point.
Honestly, that could very well be. Yeah, that could be done. Yeah.
Could they be too scared to do that though? Could he be a part of it?
If depends on how he comes out looking. He comes out looking like we're talking about. A few tattoos, maybe some neck tats, something like that.
That would be awesome.
I don't know. I think
get the Masters logo tattooed somewhere.
Actually, I think awesome. I could be wrong, but I think the master could have you erased from the globe just as easy as like a Mexican cartel.
They're not scared of anybody.
They're literally not scared.
Augusta National's not scared of anybody.
All right, number 2. I remember this. This was before we started the pod, but it's something fun to talk about now.
I do not.
It's called Van Rooyen's Wreckage. This was during the PGA Championship at Kiowa Island. I played that course, by the way, Flex. And near the end of the second round, this was like
to get the hat.
A viral video. He's playing number 17, which is a pretty tough par 3. And I guess he hit it in the water. I don't really know what happened, but he takes his club and absolutely beats the tee marker into smithereens.
Almost hits the other caddy.
Yeah, it like flies off, and the caddy's like, yeah, he's nervous. Yeah, snapped his club head. Matt Wallace's caddy was dodging shrapnel from everywhere. Do y'all remember this?
I don't know. I think this was about the time that Sergio was overseas, raking the bunker with his 6-iron from duffing it and kicking sand all over the place. And so I think we were focusing on that more than we were focusing on this because I don't remember.
The PGA Championship.
I don't remember this guy.
I do remember Phil beating Brooks, sucking Brooks.
That was awesome. And Brooks complained. Brooks complained that people got too close to him.
Or too many people. Yeah.
He was really nice to me.
And kind of hit my knee.
But this, I don't remember, because I understand them slinging a club against the ground and, he hit the tee marker. And then they said that when I watched the video, I didn't see this. They say like he rushed the back of his hand towards the crowd, like to tell them to shut up. I don't, like, when you watch the video, I think they're reading a little too much into that. But he did, when he hit that club, that tee marker the second time around, it went.
That's my favorite part.
It went whipping by the caddy.
That's my favorite part. He swipes at it and it wasn't satisfactory. So he went back and he backhanded it. He backhanded it first. That was not satisfactory. So then he went full on frontal swing and everything exploded. It was great. Absolutely.
And so
great.
if you're the opposing caddy, do you look at him and go, if you'd had that same swing just a moment ago, we wouldn't be having this position right now that we're in.
Moving on.
Dude,
go ahead.
I think if I was that caddy, I think it would have been appropriate for him to get his ass kicked right then and there.
Yes, because he didn't, like, when you read about it, he didn't apologize. It's like the article says, he took the easy way out and he waited like 4 days before he tweeted something like, hey, I shouldn't have acted like that. I apologize. That's too late, man. You've already pissed.
I'm talking about within the next 5 seconds. Like, if that tee marker comes by me, I put the bag down. I said, you worthless, and I call him a lot of names, and then he gets his ass kicked on live TV. That would be the best situation.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so moving on. Cazire kills a driver and a putter.
I knew about the driver.
I didn't know, but it seems like I remember the putter video because he broke it over his knee, like kind of like Bo Jackson just snapped it.
Yeah, that's how they keep referring to it.
I do not remember the driver. So what happened there?
The only reason I remember the driver is because, and I don't know why he did this. Maybe he was claiming that the swing cracked the shaft before he bent it over. But he did that whole thing that you've seen some players do. When he started bending it down like this, and man, it just went to smithereens behind him.
Yeah.
And he was claiming that it was already broken when he was doing that. And so because he was asking, could he replace it? And they were like, nope, because you broke it, not the course or not in the field of play. Like you did it on purpose. And so he was a little upset about that. That's why I remember the driver. And then I guess the next round, he did the putter too over the knee.
Tore his
I didn't
hat.
see that.
It was the next week. It was 2 different events.
Yeah, 2 different events.
Because he got into, it was the playoffs. He gets into the next event. It was maybe the first playoff event and the second one. And then I did not know about the hat at all. And I love that. That is a excellent fit of rage because, first of all, no tee markers go flying. Ben Rudin. I hope he still keeps stay up night late. And it like makes you look at a little ridiculous, kind of a Rory shirt tear-esque. That's classic,
I'll say tearing a hat's like ripping a phone book too. Like that's tough. It's not easy to rip a hat.
You can tell it actually starts to bother him that he's not making any headway. No pun intended. Like
that's funny. He's frustrated that it won't rip. That's great. That's absolutely
it's making him more mad.
Like, mad.
He did it before he lost his head.
Yes. Oh.
I already made the funny one.
Yeah.
Quit.
Yeah. All right. The next one, I think
your nickname sucked.
The next one, the original scores that Kyle backed out and backed out on one, but whatever.
All right, guys, moving on. The next one, I do remember us talking about this one.
Yes,
I feel like I defended him on this one, if I'm not mistaken.
But probably did.
It was this was the Farmers Open, the first go around at Torrey Pines, and Patrick Reed. There was a rules issue.
Fat Prick Reed. There was a rules issue where the ball lands and he picks it. He says it's embedded and he goes ahead and picks it up before he calls the official over there. And there's the whole exchange. The volunteer says they saw it plug or they didn't see it bounce or something like that. And he went by the volunteer's advice. And then you see video that it clearly bounced. And it's more than likely not embedded. It was just another deal where, it's a bad look for Patrick Reed. It is. But Kyle, I honestly, looking back on it, we have to check the tape. I actually think that both you and I defended him on this.
I did.
Because he took advantage of the rules because when he asked and they gave him permission to go ahead and like say he went ahead and took advantage for that rules official. Everything he did was within the letter of the law.
The book. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just was a quote unquote, as they said in here, and even they noted on the broadcast, it's a bad look. But because remember, our question was, is it a bad look because it's Fat Prick Reed, or is it a bad look because of just the situation? Like if it had been any golfer doing that, because remember, the same tournament is the one that Rory
did the same thing. Yeah.
Did the same thing. And nobody said a word about it. So
this tweet is from January 30th. I don't think you guys would have covered this live. As much as I do have FOMO from the time that you guys potted before me.
No, we were just talking about rules, infractions, and things that we did cover this. Yeah,
we did talk about that. We did talk about this.
We covered it because of the situation, it being the same tournament and the exact same thing happened to Rory and nobody said a word, but because it was Fat Prick Reed, everybody was upset about it.
Yep. Do remember it. It was kind of tricky, but just another opportunity for him to make himself look bad. And then if you give the fans any leeway, they're going to take it.
I mean, this is part of that where he just, because he said it before, he doesn't care. He didn't care what people think about him. And that kind of goes to prove it, because you would think that he's at the point in his being Mr. Bad Guy where there's certain things when it comes to making a decision on the golf course, he needs to go, like either he or his caddy needs to look at one or the other and go, we need to make sure we get this right, because public perception is going to be really bad.
Oh, just caddies are much of a piece of doo-doo as he is.
Yeah.
Speaking of caring, if you want to show your lady that you care, guys, you need to say goodbye to dull gifts and say hello to Lightbox lab-grown diamonds. They're the brightest gift of the year. Using cutting-edge technology and innovative techniques, they've cracked the science of sparkle, creating the highest quality lab-grown diamonds you can find at an incredible price, $800 per carat. They have the same chemical makeup of natural diamonds, but are just grown in a lab. Because of the process, you can create stones in blush pink, beautiful blue, or even that's in the classic white.
He is watching us this
Lightbox
time.
lab-grown diamonds are the gift that they'll never want to take off price, so they don't have to. Can you believe it? They really do make any outfit sparkle. Visit lightboxjewelry.com and add sparkle to your holiday shopping. That's lightboxjewelry.com. Lightbox Jewelry, where the game starts. Moving on. Love it. The next one on the list, y'all didn't even catch that. I just went ahead and threw that in there.
No, dude, that's supposed to be my line.
I stole it. The rotten ROM removal. Say that 5 times fast. Rotten ROM removal.
Ben, give it a shot.
Nope, can't do it. Rotten ROM
removal.
Wow, y'all did it. When people say that, like nobody actually goes and does it. Like it's just a joke. But anyway, good job.
That's
guys.
what we bring to the show for you, Kyle.
This is where John Rahm was leading by 17 strokes, I think, at the Memorial.
Biggest bunch of horse hockey known to man.
And he was forced to withdraw because he tested positive for COVID and they told him as he's leaving the 18th hole with a 6-stroke lead. And he didn't get to finish the tournament. And
not only did they tell him, Kyle, they went up and told him and like got all up in his face, well within 6 feet of him.
Yeah.
Like everything was inconsistent.
They literally were like touching him.
Put his hands on their back.
Unclean.
The picture in the article actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people standing around him within 6 feet.
One dude, they're driving him on a golf cart. There's 2 people in the cart driving with him. It's kind of, I know it was crazy. It was a freak out. Everybody freaked out.
So my take on this is that, I mean, they had to do what they had to do because they had the rule in place. It was a bad rule. It was a really bad rule. Like you have to make some sort of exception there. There was masks. There was all these things that you can do. Golf can literally be played 30 feet away from 50 yards away from anybody. He could have played an entire 18 holes and not gotten within.
That's what we discussed. And see, especially in that situation, Nate, we talked about how he was going to be in the final group anyway. Let him play by himself.
That's what I'm saying.
In the final group, he was in the final group. Let him play by himself. Like that's just cost him millions, man. Cost him millions.
Luckily, he comes back and wins the U.S. Open a couple of weeks later. But yeah, it was kind of wild, and I think it was one of those, let's just don't make a tough rule. Let's make a zero tolerance where we get to cover our butts and nobody has to make a tough decision. I just absolutely despise that, but it happened.
And that's not, I mean, that was the scenario they did not think of when they're making that rule, is this guy tests negative all week long. He's in a situation where he has to test every single day. They needed 6-stroke lead.
They needed the contrarian in the room that said, hey, what if the leader?
What if a guy has a 6-shot lead?
Yeah.
And he's tested negative all week and he's quarantined all week.
I know. It's tough. I
mean, we've got golf rules for crazy stuff.
Yep.
Anyway.
Do y'all want to address the next one on the list? Maybe not go too far in depth.
I
would love to.
It doesn't bother me to address it. I mean, we might as well. I love the title of it.
The Trump dump. And this is, there's one thing I didn't realize about it. I knew that the 2022 PGA Championship was supposed to be held at Trump Bedminster golf course. And I didn't realize that they moved it to Southern Hills after the January 6th events. I didn't realize that was sort of what made them change it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something y'all were aware of?
Yeah, I did not. Yeah, I did not.
Yeah, I knew it was because of it's the quote unquote insurrection that got brought up. But this is one of those where I've said it with other sports, try to keep politics out of sports and sports out of politics. I know that's never going to happen, but also know your audience and know what you're catering to. And it seems like the PGA was trying to, I don't know, they were trying to stay on par with a lot of other what was going on around.
It was a time that in general there's a lot of people, which I on the one side just taking out the names, whoever it is, I can get wanting there not to be a distraction, not wanting it to be about that, right. But also, I don't know, it's going to be in 2022, like it's going to be a year later, and
it was one of those. It was one of those we're trying to be sharp moments, I think, is what I think.
Yeah, and
kind of like Titleist and the golf balls, the whole golf ball situation.
Yes. Titleist and golf balls. You want to cross over sports? It's the same thing that happened when the All-Star game got taken out of Atlanta. And just sports trying to get involved in
when they don't really have to.
No, yeah, that's the thing. That tournament gets played there. There's probably going to be 50 or 60 people outside the gates doing some sort of protest or something of that nature, which happens every year at Augusta. By the way, there's always people outside the gates there, and this never gets brought up. I mean, it gets mentioned, but it's not something that they beleaguer on. And this one, I think, would have been the exact same way in 2022.
I'm with you. Don't want to go too much. Don't want to go too much further into that. But you know what I do want to go further into? That is Swannies.co.
There you go.
And we love those guys. You need to check them out. Ben's got the new black hoodie. What's it called, Ben? Do you remember the name of it?
No,
Ben?
I have no idea.
It's pretty sweet.
Hey,
though.
take it off real quick while
it's
he's
different.
doing his
It's like a scoop neck. It's like a scoop neck. So see, mine is the quarter zip.
Mine's a scoop neck, so it doesn't get in your way when you're swinging.
Exactly.
Golf club.
Love it. Looks sharp.
It's got drawstrings. They're black.
Swannies.co. Use coupon code Dadbod Golf Pod -25. Take 25% off your next order. They got their new subscription box is about to go up for sale, so be on the lookout for that. It should come up any day now. It should be ready, I think, by the beginning of the year. So check them out. Swannies.co. Next on the list is, it says Not a Good Time, which is about Kevin Noth. And this is in regards to, I think, the 17th hole at TPC Sawgrass this year during the first round.
I missed this too. I knew he WD'd, but I
think they're reaching on this one a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
this is not that.
He played like doo-doo and then he withdrew.
Yeah, he cited a back injury, but I think he hit 4 in the water. Is that right?
And an 8.
He made an 8.
His first 3 shots from the tee ground in the water, and then he hit his 4th from the drop ground in the water.
And it barely stayed dry.
It stayed on. It wasn't on the green, and then I think he chipped in for 8. Which at that point you got to think like, okay, here we go. Hey, we're back.
Here we go. We are back.
back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
There's a little bogey on 18 come in, and Good to go.
We
He
go ahead
chipped
and
in for a
let's go birdie
quintuple.
18. Let's go birdie 18, and then we only end up 4 over on the last 2 holes. We're good.
But he didn't. He bogeyed 18, then withdrew. So that was kind of I didn't really think that was newsworthy. I don't remember it happening. Wasn't that great. This last one we did kind of talk about this, but I think
my issue was it wasn't controversial.
Yeah, it wasn't controversial at all.
They're like, he shot 81. I'm like, so
it's the least controversial thing that I've read in like a year, I think. Anyway, we talked about this last one, or not the last one. We talked about this one a little bit, but I think it's worth talking about again during the Solheim Cup. This one's titled "The Eagle Never Landed," and this is where it was the 13th hole, and Nelly Korda missed an eagle putt, and within seconds, the European girl scooped the ball up and gave it back to Korda, conceding, obviously, basically saying that's good, and giving her birdie to tie the hole. But that is against the rules, and they had to wait 10 seconds to see if Korda's ball might drop in, although it was not going to drop in. There was no way it could have, but because they didn't wait the 10 seconds and she swiped it away, they made the putt count, and they gave them the hole.
Here's the
ended up winning one up.
They ended up winning one up.
Yep.
Yes.
It's got to even be worse. Here's the inconsistency of some of the rules is if she gives that to Korda, just says that's good, and Korda picks it up within that 10 seconds, no problem.
Yeah.
But the fact that she went and grabbed it, even after she'd already said that's good, and still grabbed and put her hands on it within the 10 seconds, it's a penalty. It's just
I think that's inconsistent though, because
no, because once she says it's good, who the hell cares who picks it up and throws it back to him? I mean, I guess the argument
because if the
gives it to her,
hit
person
it,
puts
Korda picks it up, then she's sacrificing her own 10-second, her own what would be her own.
Well, no, I was saying that I guess the other theory to that is if we've talked about that in match play. If she gives her the putt and then Korda tries to putt at it and misses it, then it's a miss. So I don't know. It's kind of it's within the rules. The rules are there. That's just all the more reason that every caddy and player should sit down and have rules study sessions, because this came up and they were all clueless. And it seems like every dadgum Solheim Cup there is some sort of controversy when it comes to this.
My thing was I didn't really care. Like I didn't really care about that part. The part that I was sort of like, okay, come on. Whenever they basically the Korda, they were like, oh, we just really wish that wouldn't have happened, or that's not what the spirit of the rule and all. They were saying all this stuff, like trying to say all the right things, but it's like, okay, if you really believe that, then you just concede the next hole.
Yeah, you just can move on.
Wipe it away. So like, don't go there. Like you got the point. You were fired up. You won by a hole. That was the only thing I didn't really.
It's better.
Just like the guys who say it's not about money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's better if in that situation. This has happened in match play with PGA Tour. This has happened in match play with Solheim Cup the last couple of times. When they ask you, instead of doing that, because every time they always say, I just wish I hadn't gone that way. Because like you said, Kyle, you can always, if you wish that for real, you can see the next hole and move on. What you should just say in the post-round, say, that's just all the more reason we all need to study the rules more, because I didn't know that either. That sucks.
Just say, hey, it sucked.
Yeah, sorry.
Part of it.
Don't know what could have happened to us too.
Could have happened to us.
I could have walked by and scooped up one of their putts, and it would have happened to us as well.
It'd been pretty cool if like all 4 of the girls like held hands and walked down the next hole, just like none of them played it. They conceded it. Yeah. Like a really cool like show of unity between these two great nations.
It would have been so woke.
That would have been beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, look, I don't care so much about what you say. I don't care so much about what you say. Let me just watch. I'll just watch what you do, and then that'll tell me what you really think. So
actions speak louder than words.
Bingo.
Those have.
Bingo, bango. All right. The last one on the list we kind of already talked about, but we can just go ahead and mention again. Rory gets ripped. Usually
that happened years ago.
Yeah, usually he is doesn't show a whole lot of emotion. Pretty calm guy. in the European Tour season finale. I'm sorry, scratch that. The DP World Tour Championship.
Yes.
Double portions.
Double portions. DP.
Yes. Love it.
In the battle to become the DP World Champ, Rory got a little mad on his last round. He's playing really good the whole week. And then I think he shot 74, 75, something like that the last round. He rips his shirt just in a fit of rage, just rips his shirt, and there's a picture that goes around. And I just noticed this for the first time. If you look in the reflection in the glass, there's some dude sitting there cheesing it. Like there's a reflection of this camera guy, and he is just got it's like a terrified.
He knows he's about to take the picture.
He's the one that's got DP World next to his head.
Yeah, yes, that's hilarious. I just now noticed that. That is so funny.
You looked at that picture a lot, haven't you?
Yeah. So he it says so he ripped his shirt. He wasn't happy, but you know what? Rory's gonna have a good year. He's my new boyfriend.
He's your new boyfriend. You're wanting him to win a couple of majors this year.
Yep.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he just shows one nip, and then boom, you're just.
Swapped over faster than you can say. I don't think
McElroy.
I'm in.
You know, and the thing is Bryson did his shirtless pick right around the same time too, man. You had your choice of staying with the old flame or moving on to a new one, and you decided
Ivan Drago or Rory McIlroy.
Do I want lubed up abs or just an all natural Irish nip? I'll go. I'm gonna go.
Alex, I'll take Irish nip for 400.
I'll take the Irish nip.
He's gonna take Irish. I'll take.
I don't.
I'll take naked Irish anger for 400, Alex.
Yes.
Always. I don't think we have anything else that we can say on this podcast.
There's nothing else left. There's
Worst
nothing
day of
else
the
left
week.
to say.
Just
That was
no
a
way to cap it out.
Golf Digest. Check out the website. They're putting out some cool content on different types of storylines from throughout the year that you may or may not have seen.
Yep.
There's some other good stuff that we may talk about later in the week. But this has been Tuesday, and we got through it, and it was fun. And we hope
we make your day better.
Hope your Tuesday was better. Tomorrow is the best day of the week. It's Would You Rather Wednesday. Hump Day.
Mm-hmm.
The end is in sight. Let's go.
Also recording.
Yes, we are.
Thank you
we
for
absolutely
asking,
are, but we're almost done. This is episode 100.
We're wrapping it up, Cat. We're wrapping it up.
Yeah,
baby.
bye. Golf, bye.
Always stroking.
Always stroking.